Oh, the beginning of a glorious week. We have sports just pouring out of our ass like bad Indian food. We have so much to talk about. This is great. I am disgusted that Michigan is going to win the Big Ten, but
what are you disgusted for? It's
RFR.
No. And you know what? I'll leave it up to David. David, I don't even think I should say anything. I think that Mike has earned the right to speak the entire first segment. This man is like red hot right now. Everything that he wants is happening. Between you called it. You were one of the few people who publicly said Michigan's going to win this game.
I put money behind it.
And when you first gave me the phone call, I'm like, okay, I don't understand your angle, Mike. There is no angle. They're going to win. Okay, but seriously, what's the angle? What are we using? No. Put them to the point where he sends me a text Saturday morning saying, it's not too late. Jump on the train. Get on this train. It's not too late.
I said it's only I-240 now. It's only plus 240. You missed the 260. I go, come on. You can do this.
I had an open. I had Roberto already working on an open because I heard the show on Friday.
The counter open?
And it was a counter open. I had it that Mike, it was going to be clips from the documentary of Jim Jones, how you led the people down to Ghana.
Passing the cups.
And you start passing the cups.
No.
It was going to, I had it all set up. And I'm like, this dude. And then the next day, not to take away from that, find out that Gettleman's not coming back.
I know. We'll get to that. Let me do this.
Because there's the Powerball, man. Well, this is your section. I'm sorry. I should not talk.
No. You go. I want you to because there's so much to. That's Marquee Bucks.
The Marquee. Your regalness.
Let's start with this with Michigan OSU. Because, look, whether it's the game, whether it's what happens after the game, whether it's the bigger picture, just for a moment, I've tried to say for a few weeks now, I think this team is different. And part of it I could prove to you, and then part of it was just a hunch. Part of it was watching it and believing in something that maybe I couldn't quantify or couldn't qualify. But I'm going to pay you the biggest compliment I can pay you. And it's up to you whether you accept it or not. So we'll try this. But like Saturday, two things jumped out at me. One was that scene, that game, that team, that performance, that win. That's everything that you pretended you've been the last 17 years. Actualized in front of you. That's what it looks like. That's why that scene was so special, is because it hasn't been there for 17 years. That moment, that was as good as it gets. That's the pinnacle. You win those types of games, you're one of those programs. So the scene jumped out at me because I know as a Spartan, I've lived that moment where you've struggled for so long, nobody thinks you can win, the stadium's electric, and then you get it. You get this thing that because you had failed to get it for so long, you felt like it was mythical, but now you're holding.
Yeah, 2013 Big Ten Championship.
Right. I don't have to like them to respect them. I'll never like them. But I respect the hell out of that because there wasn't a single play. There wasn't a single moment. You weren't the better team.
Right there. And that's why. No. That's why. Didn't come down to something controversial. No. Wasn't a bad call. Wasn't a spot. It was a 60-minute ass kicking.
They could replay the game today. You'd beat them again.
Right.
And then you could play it again next Saturday. You'd beat them again.
Right. I mean, you handled them. You did it. You made them do everything that we questioned Michigan about.
Right.
They were kicking field goals. They couldn't score touchdowns. Stupid penalties. Oh, my God.
But you know what it was, too? And this is where I want to pay the biggest compliment I can pay you. There's no smart. And it's up to you whether you're willing to accept this or not, because I think it's going to bring something full circle. You went full Lil Bro. And what do I mean by that? You internalized everything over the last calendar year. We're going to put 100 on them, and that's in your locker room. We're going to rename drills at practice. We're going to make Ohio State our magnificent obsession.
Yeah.
See, we thought we hated them before.
On the game.
Right. Oh, the COVID thing. That played. And what you did is, for the first time in my life, I mean this, In the last 17 years, I saw a Michigan team take the field with no entitlement, with a hatred, with almost a humility to it, and with a chip on their shoulder that it didn't matter what Ohio State did. They walked down that tunnel. They were walking to their own assassination. I've never seen Michigan do it.
I've seen it once, but not for a game like that. It was when Michigan State and Shea Patterson and those guys just destroyed State that day. And you saw MSU had no business being in the big house.
But that's not an opponent that's on your level.
No, but I'm saying just that passion where they finally took the State game seriously that day.
Right.
They took the Ohio State game seriously because you've always heard, well, it's an obsession with the Buckeyes. They just live for this moment.
And you finally lowered yourself.
And embraced it.
Yes. And that's the point. There's no shot in there. I'm saying that for a moment. My God, our engineer Robbie is dressed like a mascot today. Robbie, congratulations. Scomac Company, man. I see a little Odyssey quarter zip, huh? A little Al Michaels quarter zip. Our engineers are the best, buddy.
They are.
The point is, I don't know why they got to test the phones at 2 o'clock, but the point is, you were willing to do something you haven't done, and now you get to see the results. Because
I've often said, why don't you embrace it? Because Ohio State beats you every year, and then you come out and say, well, it's what they live for. It's their Super Bowl. Okay, make it yours.
Right, you live for it.
Make it yours.
That
do what
team,
they do.
From start to finish, they had an edge to them that if they're going to play that way, like if this is actually something they can duplicate, and I don't know if they can. It's the hardest thing to do in sports. There's only a couple schools in the country that have been able to take it, harness it, combine it with elite talent, and then maintain it. You're talking about Bama, Clemson, Ohio State. LSU didn't. Oklahoma's kind of gotten there. But if Michigan is going to play like that, you can be the program you've pretended to be for a long time. And I will tell you this, and I'm saying it very plainly and very openly. I didn't BS you last week. I'm not going to BS you now. There's not a team in America that wants to see you right now. Because what Michigan has is one of the requirements to win it all. They have a non-negotiable. Non-negotiables are very, very important. And the teams that win national titles generally have a couple of them. Meaning, I'm going to take the field, and I'm going to put some pizza in your mouth. And you go, but I don't like pizza. You're eating pizza. Michigan's offensive line is a non-negotiable. Now, Ohio State's run defense, I told you, I thought it was a paper tiger. Doesn't matter. Michigan is going to be able to go out offensively now. I don't know why this thing continues to tilt over. They are going to go out and have a level of balance. They're going to be able to go east and west, north and south. They're going to be able to mix in some QB run. They're going to be able to mix in some passing, both interior with the tight ends and exterior with their outside weapons. But that O-line, along with their edge rushers, are non-negotiable. You will have to deal with them. And if you can win up front, and look, Michigan, what they were in September has nothing to do with what they are now. What they were October 30th has nothing to do with what they are now. They are peaking now. There's not a team in America. I don't care. Kenny left the room. I'll tell you right now, Kirby Smart would rather play Bama than the team that took the field Saturday, because if you turn on that film, they did something to Ohio State that I've only seen one team do. One.
Yeah.
When Clemson de-pantsed them in the playoff and Urban Meyer fired everybody.
I was just
never seen it.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think that Georgia is sitting there worried about Michigan.
Fine. Georgia's over here.
Right.
Everybody else? Nobody wants them.
Right.
Nobody.
Because
I wouldn't want to line up against it right now.
I don't know if Michigan can manufacture that much hate against Georgia like they had against the Buckeyes.
Listen, the secret to the sauce is, can you maintain it? It's hard to do.
But see, that was hate, Mike. That was emotion. Like you said, they went full little brother. The hatred.
They did everything MSU does against them, and maybe they actually learned from it. Mm-hmm. And you know what? All the hee-hees and the ha-has about, oh, you got a clock in the locker room. Well, you do too. Oh, you name some of your drill. You do too. Oh, you obsess about it. It's your Super Bowl. You do too. And again, I don't care what you do versus us. You can keep losing to us. That's fine. You had to beat this team. 15 out of 16 is outer space. Outer space. And so will 16 out of 18 if you don't win next year. But here and now, this was the moment. This was the game. And look, I have friends who went to school there. I have friends who I am happy for them as human beings. I'll never be happy for the school. I can't be. I can't. It's just oil and water. But that scene, Rico, that's 17 years of knowing deep down you had fallen and you couldn't get up. And now this right here, this is your first step in reclaiming who you want to be, can be, think you are. Now, you got to finish the job. I think I'm so sure about the Iowa game. I'll place my bet Friday at the airport. I'll collect my money on Saturday night. You're going to bomb Iowa.
Yeah, it comes great odds, but
no. I'm laying the 10. I'll lay 12. I'll lay 13.
Oh,
they're going to bomb this team.
Oh,
they right now. My point to Michigan fans would be the following. I tried to tell you last week. I tried to get Coward Wojo on board. He bet Ohio State. He's a disgrace. Nobody in this town wanted to pick your team. It took a Sparty to do it. My point to you is, you can do this. This is a down year in college football. That's not a shot. It's a fact. There is no LSU. There is no Oklahoma. There is no Ohio State.
Heck, even Bama's not Bama.
And there's no Clemson. You can do this. Get to Georgia. Get to a 60-minute game. You can do it. Because I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to line up and play you again. I think you're better now than you were last week. You're better last week than you were the week prior. You're better. You have been getting better and better and better and better at the right time. And what you did on Saturday, that was the most complete performance I've seen by your football team since the Lloyd Carr era. Straight up. And Carr was a demon against top 10 teams. I think Lloyd ended his career something like 12-3.
Yeah.
He was a demon. Guys,
he found ways to motivate them. It was like
this was
money
real.
in the bank.
This was real.
This was everything on the table. And normally this is where, Michigan doesn't rise to the occasion. They took it. You saw the jubilation in the crowd and in
but
the players.
But they earned that in
that
it's
did.
17 years of not having it. What's the last game at the Big House that was at this level that mattered like this? Rico, there are grown children who are probably obtaining driver's licenses who've never experienced that. There are people who spent the last 16, 17 years of their life and died and didn't see that.
Right.
So Saturday's scene is why we love sports. It's why we love college football, and it's a reclamation of what U of M fancies themselves as. But they earned this.